7 days ago, I deleted Claude completely. No autocomplete, no explain this to me, no 2 a.m. rubber duck to think out loud with. Cold turkey for one full week. I wanted the answer to one uncomfortable question. Had AI actually made me better at my job, or had it just made me dependent? By day 3, something I did not expect started happening. By day 6, I caved. And the reason I caved completely changed how I use AI now. This is the honest version. Every single day of it. Let me tell you why I did this. Because it wasn't a stunt. A few weeks ago, I caught myself reaching for Claude to do something embarrassingly small. Rename a variable. Write a two-line function I'd written 100 times before. And I realized I couldn't actually remember the last time I had started anything code, an email, a plan from a truly blank page on my own. The tool had quietly slid from helping me think to thinking for me. And there's a fear underneath that. One I think a lot of people feel right now and never say out loud. If the AI disappeared tomorrow, would I still be good? Or have I been renting a skill I used to own? There is only one way to actually find out. You take it away. Day 1 and 2 were genuinely rough, and I want to be honest about that. The first thing I noticed was the reaching. I would type half a thought and just wait for the gray autocomplete text that was never coming. It's muscle memory now. It's a reflex. I'd hit a small problem, something I absolutely know how to solve, and my first instinct wasn't to think, it was to ask. And every single time I had to catch myself and go, no, you do this one. Productivity, honestly, cratered. Things that took 30 seconds now took 10 minutes. I felt slow. I felt rusty in a way that was a little humiliating. If the experiment had ended on day 2, the conclusion would have been simple. I am hopelessly dependent. This was a mistake. Reinstall it. But I didn't stop on day 2. Day 3 is when it turned and I did not see it coming. I was stuck on a problem, a real one, not a trivial one. And out of pure habit, I went to ask Claude. It wasn't there. So I did the thing I hadn't done in months. I just sat with it. I opened the actual documentation. I read it. I traced the logic by hand. And it took me maybe 20 minutes instead of 20 seconds. But somewhere in those 20 minutes, my brain switched into a gear I had genuinely forgotten existed. That deep, quiet, fully absorbed focus. No tab switching, no waiting on a response, no second guessing. Just me and the problem. By the end of day 3, I wasn't frustrated anymore. I was, and this surprised me, kind of enjoying it. By day 4, I understood what had actually happened to me, and it reframed the whole thing. Here's the realization, and it might be the most important sentence in this video. I had assumed AI was doing my thinking for me. It wasn't. What it was really doing was removing the friction, the struggle, the 20 minutes of being stuck. And here is the trap. The friction is not the obstacle to learning. The friction is the learning. Every time I let Claude skip me past the hard part, I also skipped the exact reps that used to make me better. The AI didn't make me dumber. It made me skip the part where I get smarter. I had been trading my own growth for speed, one tiny convenient shortcut at a time, and I never even felt it happening. Now, day 5 is where I have to be fair, because this is not an anti AI video. And the truth is more interesting than that. The detox had real, measurable upsides. I remembered my own codebase again, where things lived, why I had built them that way, because I had actually been touching it instead of narrating requests. I made decisions faster, because I wasn't outsourcing every judgment call to a second opinion and then waiting on it. My focus was deeper. My memory was sharper. But, and this matters, I was still slower overall. Some things genuinely are faster with AI, and pretending otherwise would be lying to you. By day 5, I wasn't anti AI or pro AI. I was sitting in the honest middle, where both of those things are true at the same time. And then came day 6. I caved. I reinstalled it. But here is the part I really want you to hear because it is the whole point. It was not a hard problem that broke me. It wasn't some gnarly algorithm or a bug I couldn't crack. I had been handling those all week, slowly but fine. What broke me was a blank page. I had to write the first draft of something, and it doesn't even matter what. And I had been sitting and staring at an empty file for 40 minutes. Not because I didn't know the answer, because I could not start. The cursor just blinked at me, and I caved. I opened Claude and typed 3 lazy words. It gave me a mediocre first draft. I deleted almost all of it. But the second it existed, I was moving again. And that is when everything clicked. Here's what clicked, and it's the thing I wish someone had told me a year ago. AI's real superpower is not intelligence, it's activation energy. Everything else I had outsourced, I could actually do without it. Slower? Sure, but I could do it. The answers, the code, the logic, all replaceable by just thinking harder. But the one thing I genuinely could not replace was the way it kills the blank page. It turns nothing into something to react to. And that is the secret. Reacting is easy, starting is hard. A blinking empty cursor is where almost every project quietly dies. A bad first draft, a rough outline, a wrong but existing answer. That is not the AI doing your work. That is the AI getting you unstuck so you can do your work. The blank page was the only thing I couldn't beat alone. And it is the one thing AI beats instantly. So I got my answer to that uncomfortable question from day one. Had AI made me better or just dependent? The honest answer is both. And that is completely fine as long as you are deliberate about which is which. The mistake I had been making wasn't using AI, it was using it for everything by default without ever noticing the difference between momentum and thinking. So now I run one rule: I let AI start things. I do not let it finish my thinking. I use it for activation energy. The blank page, the rough draft, the first version. And then I close it and do the actual work myself, friction and all. The detox didn't make me quit Claude, it made me use it on purpose. And on purpose is a completely different tool than by default. And you can run this exact test yourself. You don't need to delete anything for a month, just a week is enough to feel it. 3 things to watch for. 1. The friction audit. For 1 week, every time you reach for AI, pause and ask, am I stuck on starting or am I skipping the reps? If you are skipping the reps, do that one yourself. That is where your edge lives. 2. The blank page rule. Use AI to generate the first version of anything, then immediately take over. Momentum from the machine, judgment from you. 3. Notice what you can't do without it. That, whatever yours turns out to be, is the one thing AI is actually irreplaceable for in your work. Protect it and stop wasting it on everything else. I packaged the whole thing: the 7-day protocol, the friction audit, the exact questions to ask yourself each day into one free guide. Comment the word detox and I'll send it straight to you. But before you go, here is the last thing this whole week taught me, and it's the part nobody tells you. The people genuinely winning with AI right now are not the power users. They are not the ones using it the most. They are the ones who figured out the single thing it is irreplaceable for, and then refuse to use it for anything else. Less, but on purpose, beats more by default. The deep dives live here on YouTube, so subscribe. The bite-sized drops are on Instagram at Hyperautomation Labs. Now, go delete something.